society needs to re-strategize, and one way for us to re-strategize is to individually, personally invest in ourselves. Welcome to our one-on-one segment, and it's an exciting episode. I have a special guest with me, OGE Classic, one of Nigeria's famous drag queen. Let's start with this conversation. What's the difference between a drag queen and a cross-dresser, and what draws the line between a drag queen and cross-dressing?
Okay, so I said a drag queen is a person who emulates a feminine gender, like in the clothing and everything, to for entertainment, using it to entertain people, jokes, singing, dancing, and all. You understand? Why a cross-dresser is someone who is comfortable in feminine outfits and everything that, or let's say, it's just like a transgender person too. You understand? Like, you get what
That means a cross-dresser literally is a transgender who hasn't gone through the surgery.
Yes, God bless you. Yeah, gone through process, like you understand.
Yes.
But even if I don't dress feminine, I can see what do you call it? Identify myself as a cross-dresser, as a transgender. You know, I don't need all makeup and everything to be like a transgender. I can still be on my beards and still identify myself as a transgender. You get? Or a cross-dresser is someone who just,
who has become conformed. So you're trying to say, like, a drag queen is someone who is non-binary. So the person could still be masculine and still identify as non-binary. Why a cross-dresser is someone who has said, okay, I want to be identified by this, this new role now, or this new sexual role. So before we go about talking about you being a cross-dresser in Nigeria, what about the people who say cross-dressers and drag queens are not part of the LGBTQ plus community? Where do you fall under the alphabet in the community?
Oh, obviously the G in the head. Yes. So,
minus that side, as a cross-dresser, we are not looking at the sexual orientation now. Where do drag queens and cross-dresser fall under the alphabet letter of the rainbow community?
Okay, they fall under the transgender, yes.
So that means the transgender has different umbrella under itself as a sexual orientation.
Yes. Yeah.
This is yes. Carry on.
No, you can go on. Just go on.
I was saying this is quite interesting because most people don't know that the trans umbrella has different, branches under it. Once everybody hear about LGBTQ, we know about lesbian, bisexual, gays, transgenders, queer, and the others. But now the definition, now people are saying, what is the plus in the LGBTQ plus community? Personally, before, I used to think the plus means positive, but I was lectured that it doesn't mean positive as in HIV positive. So that was what I thought. Forgive my ignorance. Then I was told the plus means plus every other. So now we are questioning, what is this every other in the LGBTQ community?
Okay, so the every other is that's some undiscovered things, genders that are still coming out. You understand? Like before, it was just LGBTQ. You understand? But now it's not LGBTQA plus. You understand? So the plus is the undiscovered, the ones they've not discovered that are still trying to discover a lot of the discover some genders, and you understand that are in the community. You get. So that was actually few though.
Now let's talk about you. We've seen pictures of you, and I do love the photo shoot I saw of you. I love the whole photo shoot. Where you had your cross-dresser. I don't want to say apparel, but your cross-dresser apparel, and you were looking astonishing. Let's talk about you now being your drag queen. Your drag queen. I need to come to terms with that. Your drag queen or cross-dressing apparel. Now let's talk about that. You being a cross-dresser in Nigeria, at this stage and at this present day, do you think the cross-dressing or the drag queen community or the LGBTQ, let me just say the queer community in general, has advanced to a certain level of freedom? What do you think, and what's your experience being a drag queen in Nigeria?
Well, firstly, I will not. I won't. I will just be. I will be fair. I will just say the truth. You understand? I will not. I won't hide under the bush. It hasn't been easy because I can vividly remember I started drag 2018. Well, so it hasn't been easy coming up like as a drag. And if you are a closer in Nigeria and you are a closer in Nigeria and you are a trans in Nigeria, I feel people love you more, like, you understand, because you're showing beauty as a female and everything, you understand. But we as a drag, our makeups are always SS. We do things SS like just look to portray some kind of character, to tell stories with your makeup, you understand, like the things you're wearing. So I would say it hasn't been easy because we get the hateful comments, we get people saying all kind of things. You're ugly. People, because I've been explaining to Nigerians.
Sorry to cut you short, but what kind of things? Sorry to cut you short. What kind of things do people say to you? What kind of hateful things? What has been the worst experience you've had as a cross or a drag queen?
Okay, the worst experience was, I would say, it was in an LGBTQ party, our own community. Yes, here in Nigeria. So I went there for a show. Yeah, I went as a drag queen to perform. So immediately I came to the stage with my makeup, my kind of makeup like this. They're like, "Oh my God, what is this? You don't understand this Yoruba, masquerade." I'm like, okay, my own community don't understand what kind of person I am. So how do I expect? Or will I expect the straight community to understand, like the world, the Nigerians to understand my kind of makeups and all? But they're supposed to be well exposed, you get. So I felt so bad because it's coming from my community. I felt so bad and I felt discouraged. Or I knew that when I started being a drag queen, I did not get an advice from anybody. I just started I just saw it and liked it, you get. So that's just it.
Was there a point in time when you learned to be a drag queen? Was there a learning? Because obviously we can see that you have to do a lot of makeup, and I love the makeup. The makeups are heavy makeups, and it's not. I can't just wake up one morning and. So community needs to re-strategize, and one way for us to re-strategize is to individually, personally invest in ourselves. So in case you're just joining us, this is the one-on-one segment on Q Roots. Thanks for joining us. And today I have Oge Classic with me, one of Nigeria's famous drag queen, and we are talking about being a drag queen in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So Oge, let's go back to the conversation I had before. I know that you talked about starting your drag queen in 2018, right?
Yeah, sure.
2018, you said you didn't have any encouragement from the LGBTQ community. Let's talk on that matter. As queer people, are we encouraging ourselves more? Are we really advocating this love is love in our community? Or are we advocating, I gotta pull your light down so my light shine? What's the LGBTQ community in its skeleton in Nigeria?
Okay, so I would say the LGBT community segment in Nigeria is just so, I would say, they don't support each other. Let me not even say the LGBT community, you get, because I have lesbians as friends and they support themselves and back themselves up in different kind of things. They don't discriminate themselves. So I won't say the LGBT community. I will say the gay community itself. So they don't support themselves. They how will I say? I feel the envy people, you get. Like now we can actually now, let me just, because I would say we can see an upcoming person, and like they can see an upcoming person now, like an upcoming core who just came out from the closet and wants to explore. And when they see this, probably his outfit or something, like, oh my god, who is this? They'll talk down on the person. The person will feel like, wow, like, is this
Is
how?
that not is that not what we call the fierceness? You know, when you watch I don't know if you've watched the ballrooms, if you've watched any of the
Yeah,
ballrooms,
yeah,
Paris
definitely.
burning or burning in Paris, or Paris is burning, sorry, Paris is burning, or watch any of the American ballrooms, or you even watch RuPaul. It's all
RuPaul,
about competition, it's all about fierceness, it's all about the drama, it's all about the attitude. Don't you think that's one thing that makes us who we are?
no, that being shady is a different kind of thing. You get. I understand those kind of things. That we call that one shade. This being shady is I would say our personality. Yeah, we have this bad shady mouth. You understand? But when an upcoming person comes probably and know he's an upcoming and you know that it's just come from the shadows and he needs guideline, you don't do like there's a way you don't keep an irritating face at the first sight, like, oh my god, what's this person wearing? What's this person behaving like this? We all started from that. Like me, I was once like that when I just came out from the closet, you understand, being the old poor, old proud choir I was, you understand. I can remember some people talking like, oh, what are you wearing? Like, as if I was the kind of person that I listen to what people say, I could just probably quit being quiet from that day and try to force myself to being straight. You understand? But that's not fair. So we don't support each other. We don't support each other in the queer community here in Nigeria, which is so poor and bad. So poor.
What can we do to better our community as square members? Especially when you talk about support. You know, we can say, oh, people ain't supporting me. For example, now I can say the community ain't supporting Q Talk, and we know the good that Q Talk is doing for this community. You know, let me just say this: since Q Talk started, we haven't received no grants, we haven't received no donation. The least, the only thank you we receive are from two people who wrote and said thank you for the good work you've been doing. But many people have been saved from, you know, breaking news wahala. Many people have been educated from sex education. In short, most people did not even know how to douche until sex education was introduced. You know, people
Yeah.
benefited from curator. Now, when we talk about support, how do we support our community? One, as an organization. Two, as community members.
Okay. Supporting in what I said, it's okay. What my own way, I'll say like now jobs you get like there's some jobs now like few days back now. I remember somebody who wanted to open a new salon. So he said that she happened to look for workers who could work. The person was was like doing this quotes and giving this specific sign and saying that he was just keep on saying, please, oh, I don't want a bitchy guy. I don't want a bitchy guy. Oh, please, oh, I don't want this. And which who can actually do that? Are people like that. You understand? Like
Mm-hmm.
I can vividly remember I was working before as an hairstylist at Sugler. That was like a few months, but probably April time. The man is actually a street man, you understand? But he employed a lot of bitchy guys in his salon, and he was making it. Like people trooping into his salon every
Sorry,
fucking day.
did you say rich or cis? Rich or cis? I'm not
What?
getting. Did you say rich guys or cis guys?
I said beachy guy, like the feminine guys.
Oh, beachy
The
guys.
yeah,
Okay, got you.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry, beachy
feminine
guys.
guys, yes. Yeah.
Go on.
So the feminine guys, yes. So he employed I was part of them. So we employed like probably like 5 or 6 of them, and people were trooping into the salon. That doesn't make the man quiet. It's straight. It's not what everybody is doing. But once a quiet person wants to employ someone who always specific, I don't want a bitch. I don't want a feminine guy. Please, I want a guy that can do. That is not supporting. You understand? We learn this work. Okay, why did
Well,
we do?
let's talk about that. When we say we don't want a beach guy, why do queer people say I don't want this specific people? Is it because they've had bad experience employing
No.
queer people before? Is it because bitches guys always have dramas with them? I know of a situation where, you know, a person was like being offered a job, and the person says, "See, I can't wake up by 7 a.m. Kilo day, I cannot wake up. I need to wake up by 10. That is the earliest I can wake up." So, how do we address the situation when it comes to people being
So
bitchy?
okay, this is here. They want not say maybe they don't want the tag gay in that salon, and that salon is this salon, the owner of the salon is a queer. They will feel that people are assuming that they're queer. You get like the owner of the salon is queer, so they're trying to. Obviously, I can. The person can be a queer, you understand? And one will say he doesn't want people to know that he's queer. So if he employs a lot of queer feminine guy, people will
yes.
have idea.
So you're saying the issue is not in the performance of the people he hires, but it's because he doesn't want this identity or this stigma of hiring queer people. Maybe he may be
Yes.
queer.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, that's true. Trying to say.
Carry on.
Okay, so he does not want. He does, so when they he says he does not want this kind of bitchy guys. He's gonna probably that he wants. I won't go out. I saw not someone posted something on his WhatsApp status that they needed a chef, and in the chef they said I don't want to be gay as a chef. I'm like okay, and the person who needed the chef was queer. Is that supporting? Okay, you want to go and employ a straight person. So how are we helping each other? This kind of thing increases keto in the community because when they get there, they have an handwork. You cannot employ them. You cannot use them all because of you don't want the stigma of the name. Like, okay, if this person come and work for me, it's gonna be quiet. I have where I used to clean, where I do clean people's home. There's this boss. I clean his house for him. I go with my long hair. Sometimes I go with my my hair that's so long, looking all feminine. He's straight. He doesn't need people to come and tell that this is straight or not. I am coming in there, going there, coming in, going out. Nobody's come and meet you that you even queer. That see this guy that's coming to work for you. Do you understand? But we as a queer person, we always have this mentality that if he works with you, that means people's going to think he's queer because he knows that he himself is queer. You get? So those kind of stigmas and this thing doesn't support. I don't call that as support. You get? I feel so angry about that sometimes. When I'm like, I don't want this. I'm like, sorry, please keep your work. I don't want to work for you again. Do you get? Like now, sometimes now, why I don't have a place I'm working because there was a place I was supposed to work at. The man was specific that he does not want a bitchy queer person, and I'm good at the thing. I'm so good, and now we're not going to employ a straight person to come and do the work for him. How is he supporting us? How is the man supporting us? It's not support. The only people I feel that is support is probably the organization, the NGOs, non-governmental people. They support probably just for the healthcare. Just the healthcare, I would say. And when they even the skills acquisition, when they not let the skills finish, where they won't go work, no place where they won't go work. They'll go apply now.
Talking about NGOs, have any NGO actually helped you since you say they support? Have you had any good dealing with any?
Yes. Initially, I've been registering all my life, registering for different kind of things, supports that don't support it. Like they'll say, don't give me sewing machine. Probably June, they don't give me sewing machine. They're not giving me the sewing machine till December. They want to do skills acquisition. I said, okay, I volunteered myself I will teach people how to do makeup and hair. Till now, they're not getting back to me and say, okay, how far? We see the help them. We see one work for us. I'm not collecting anything. I just want to volunteer myself to teach people. Till now, I asked them to look at they requested for a list. I gave them the list. I called them every day with my credit to ask them how far this now do it again. They'll say come to office today. I'll come by transportation. I'll go to the office. They'll be like, okay, this is your room. You want to come and you'll be using here. I will go there. I will see there's no equipment there. I'll be like, okay, what are you trying to say? So I would say the non-governmental peoples are not working. Okay.
No,
okay.
Carry on.
But there's this, I don't know, this foundation is called Oyas Foundation, something.
I am so sorry, we do not promote Oyas JP Crime Fighter on Q Talk, but
okay.
Carry on.
Okay, no problem. So that's just it. So I've been.
But what happened to Oyas? Oyas Foundation is helping?
Yes, so well. Yes.
JP Crime Fighter, the one I know?
The OSSAS, yes. Oyas. Yeah.
It's good to know. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, down Instagram, I don't know. Oyas on Instagram. I don't know if that's JP Fighter or I don't know.
Yeah, isn't that the one that says Oya Bese, banish?
No, not that one, not that one.
Oh, okay. Please, please send me the Oya so I could, make the correction. But you said Oya's foundation is helping. It's good to know that there is a foundation in Nigeria that is helping. we're going to wrap it up from here, and we're going to have Oge Classy again to give us the tips on crush drag queen. On drag queen. So community needs to re-strategize, and one way for us to re-strategize is to individually, personally invest in us.